Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hold on a second. Hello. I'll put that over there. Let's put that up here. Let's put that there. Let's do that there. Let's go there. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. That's a bit bright. Is that a bit bright? Can you see me? Baby, can you see me? Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's the most important question I need to know. Can you hear me? Spent about 2 hours last night talking to Kermit. There's Kermit right there. Hi, Kermit. And he was like really helpful and really actually I looked at him, and he's a normal. Well, for me, he's a normal guy. He looks like a. I don't know if I should say what I told him. He could write it down. What I told him, what he looks like. But he looks reliable, and he was reliable. And tell me, the sound is great. We can hear and see you, Ruben. Hello, that's great. Sound is much better. Shanks says the sound is better. We've done 3 things to we. I'm going to say we, like I was involved in it. I just did what I was told to do, and it's not that easy. That's the thing about Leanne says it sounds amazing. Props to Kermit. Everybody give Kermit a round of applause because he's making. It's not just for me; it's for all of you, so you could hear this live stream, so that you could hear this live stream. I'm going to see if I can. Whoops! If we can. Whoops! Ah, there you go. Don't go anywhere. Hey, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to try to see if I can hear this. Can I hear this? Can I hear this? No, I can't. I cannot hear this. Okay. So I can hear it. So it's the same as that. I don't know. Anyway, Russ is here. Lewis, sorry if I'm late in the day mentioning this, but I got an email telling me that subscriptions for your channel were paused. Well, we're going to discuss that because it looks like I'm being demonetized. And they asked me, why are you being demonetized? I said, I don't know why I'm being demonetized, but it is me. So I don't know whether that's going to be a problem. Maybe we should discuss that first, whether I should be demonetized, possibly. Maybe. I don't know what we should do here, whether that should be demonetized. Well, we could discuss whether I'm demonetized. I say this every stream. This is a comedy stream, not meant to be taken literally. Yeah, well, I think you have to say that, really, whether that's true or not. I mean, really, I don't know. I take personal responsibility for everything that I say. People always think that I mean worse than what I'm saying. They think I mean bad things, and I'm a bit too complicated for that. But I could see how my belief system, if it is a belief system, can get in the way of somebody's other ideology. This is satire. Keep on banging that drum. I do appreciate you pointing that out. This is satire. Because I had to fill out a form today to YouTube. Because they asked me, they said, what do you think you've done wrong? I said, I don't know what I've done wrong. You tell me. You're the policeman. Keep in mind this is the most important thing to keep in mind, is that this is free. Granted, they're big enough. They're basically the government now. There's no other. I remember when I was younger, and I used to ask my kid. I used to say, there's YouTube. What's number 2? What is this place you can go to? It's like you got all, and you've got whatever it is. I don't know what all is. Anyway. YouTube is still woke, says Ian Bunker. Yes, it is. It is woke. It is free. It is free. It is free. That's what I have to tell myself. It is free, and people are watching it, and you can still give money, contribute to whatever I'm doing, to Patreon. You can give money to PayPal. I'm going to go to this coffee thing, which I told, which Kermit suggested that I do, which I haven't done yet, is to go coffee. And I've had all day. Well, I haven't really had all day, but I could have had all day. I could have had it. If you tell them you are a gay trans who identifies as a rabbit, then they will leave you alone. But possibly that's true, Gammy. Okay, hello, Steve Cuff is in the house. And let's see, we're up to 19 viewers. I am demonetized. So you can be proud of that, people, that you're listening to a guy who is demonetized. I remember when they took me off of Facebook because I said that COVID was a great big scam. And they took me off. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good, but it felt good later on saying, you know what, they took me off. It's like going to that demonstration the other day. It felt good. It felt good. Okay. It felt good. But so it felt. I'm gonna repeat it again. I watched a little bit of beautiful. Hold on a second. Where am I here? What am I doing? Of we could discuss that too. I was watching Stephen Allen's podcast, and he's got jokes and content, and he's got two cameras. You know, maybe I should have two cameras. Here's that. Can we put that there? Can we see that? That's Lewis Schaffer on Twitter. I took off the on Twitter business because I don't think it's necessary. And so I'm the demonetized, demonized. I'm the demonized, demonetized. That's funny. Demonized and demonetized. Thank you very much, Warmellian, for pointing that out. I don't know if it's going to be forever, Leanne. I don't know. It could be forever. I think it has to be assumed it's forever. The fact is, let's go over the fact. The fact is that people can tell what side I'm on. If they couldn't tell, then maybe I'd have a chance. But maybe I do, you know. And then what happens is it's AI saying I said this, and I don't know if AI can see the satire in it. And I don't want them to see the satire. Sometimes I'm saying an opinion, an actual opinion. That's why you're here. You know, if I was sort of maybe in the middle, maybe I'd have a lot more other types of people besides you people listening to me. Joe says, hi, Lewis and everyone. The sound is much better. Yes, we have to thank Kermit for that. I think one of the things Kermit pointed out is that the microphone that I'm using is more like a mic that you just speak into rather than something that's out there collecting stuff. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can. Let me move this over. It's not that easy. I'm clicking on it. Okay, no. Chat box. I'm opening the chat box. How about over here? I don't know if I can resize it. Let me try to resize it. It's whatchamacallit. It's going up and down. Can you see that? Can you see what it's doing? Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just move. I'll move over here. How about that? I'll move over here, and I'll move this over here. I can't get this. It's going the same direction. Move your camera. How do I move the camera? Wait, that goes there. That goes there. How about that? How is that, Leanne? We can't see the flag. You know, there's the flag. I meant to put. Yeah. Okay. Most important thing is me. I need to be. You're going to grab the middle top peg and drag it all the way down. Okay. Okay. The middle top peg. How is that? How is that? I want it to be longer and narrower. How do you make it longer and narrower? Because if I do it this way, there we go. Okay, that's not it. It's not quite working. Maybe it's locked. It's like there's some kind of locking going on. Okay. Yeah, I'd like two cameras. I maybe a camera coming here because this is my best angle. You can't see. I got the mirror right there. Can you see the mirror? I don't know that you can see the mirror. Put the mirror here so you can see it. You can see how I don't know if you can see it. You can see me. Can you see me? You probably can't see me. You don't want to know how I live my life. You don't want to know that. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Anyway, there's no safe spaces online for free speech. The dream is over. Yeah. The dream is over. Well, you could, there are no safe spaces. The fact is, maybe they're looking for ways not to pay people money too. Say you're a dirty guy, so we're not going to pay you money. Kermit, can I hire you too? I'm a technophobe. I don't know. Maybe Kermit could be quite good. There you go. There you go. Leanne wants to hire Kermit. Well, we can all get along. We can all do some stuff. Let me just see about this thing. This thing may be a bit bright. How does that look? I think that's lookable. So, we're not monetized. You can go to PayPal. You can go to Patreon if you want to send me some money. If you've got extra money to send, maybe 10 pence a day is what it is. And I think maybe I got most of it, whatever it is. I don't care. Really, I did yesterday. I had to speak to the credit department because one of my bills was not paid. I forgot to make sure that it was paid. I switched bank accounts. Maybe I don't know exactly what happened, and it's in the hands of the lawyers. And I told them how much money I made, and they said we can't ask you for any money. I'm sorry, and it was a bad feeling. It was a bad feeling. You say we don't want any money from you. We want you to go see somebody, because I haven't been working. That's the thing. I haven't been working. I've been fired from GB News. Is that a good thing, or is that a bad thing? Or maybe we don't know. They didn't call me up and they said, "Listen, we'll call you back," and they just didn't call me. I got to go in there and pick up. I got my jackets there. Maybe it's gone. Hey, Lewis, says you, Jarrett. Leanne says I look fabulous. Thank you very much, Leanne. Thank you. Claire is not here, so you're gonna have to come in and say that all the time. Hey, Lewis, I'm getting worried about MAGA reaction to unaliving of Charlie. They're talking about stopping hate speech. Who defines hate? Well, yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. Well, that's what happens. It wasn't the right. Basically, it was the left that were saying, consequences. Remember that? They were saying consequences. Maltese Phil is here. Maltese Phil. This is a comedy stream, not meant to be taken literally. Well, in order for comedy to work, Shanks, it has to be taken literally. That's what makes comedy comedy. You've got to look at an actual word that is meant kind of as a joke and take it literally to its largest possible extreme. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on what comedy is. I used to be very funny. I used to be really bright. I mean, I was a different person back in the day. I was a different person. So, like, for example, let's take my favorite joke. The kind of girl that I like is hard to find. I like girls with really small kazumis and a huge kamunis and a huge community. I like a girl with really big kazumis and a really big kamuni. I don't know. I don't know. Do you understand what I mean by that? I'm afraid to say anything. So you know what? It's like people used to talk about what comedy was like in, let's say, Poland or Russia during the communist times, and they said it was actually easier. Because there were so many things you couldn't say. You just had to allude to saying that. Allude to it. They've been defining hate speech for years now and canceling folk. And the tables have turned. I don't agree with any of that. But perhaps they need a taste of their own medicine for them to realize, Kermit says. Yeah, maybe that's true. I mean, they're not going to learn anything. I mean, there are too many of them. I mean, maybe I actually looked at a poll. Who likes? I got my knee, but it's exposed. It's not my exposed knee. Anyway, I was looking today how popular Donald Trump is in America, and it says that more people are unhappy with him than they are happy with him. But they also said that and that was Rasmussen's reports. That's the poll that Rasmussen does. This guy, Mark Mitchell, I think his name is. And it's really It's really a good one. Okay. And have the tables turned. I don't know. Just the president is in there. And I think people are realizing. They're realizing that it's not that we believe in freedom of speech. It's not that. We are in a dangerous situation where animosity is really high. So people are super sensitive, are really sensitive. And there's been preparation for this time, Kermit, for years and years. 1,000 lefties in the U.S. have lost their jobs because of what they said about Kirk. Yeah. I mean, is that good or is that bad? Do I want to be fired? I've been fired. I've been canceled, because supposedly I said something. I got called vile because I questioned whether Justin Lee Collins. I can't even mention the guy's name because maybe someone's going to come and report me and say I'm vile because of what I said. How is the sound? Is the sound good? Is the sound good? Lewis, boobas are melons and cheeks are buns. Yes, and I was sent today a form. Kermit sent it to me. He's done an amazing job for Lewis Schaffer. And he's good looking. He's not that good looking, but he's not that bad looking either. He's better looking than a lot of people. Anyway, so yes. So the jokes are I like my melons huge and my the word isn't cheeks. The word is and my cucumbers even larger. It's hard to find. It's hard to find a girl with large melons and big cucumbers. Okay, my neighbor was falsely arrested for murder the other day while at the police station. They took her photograph and told her it was a selfie. A selfie, as in going to. Okay, can I say that? Tell me what I can and cannot say. What about free speech, Kermit? I've got my speakers on 11. It sounds fine. Is that yeah? Does it sound good, Maltese Phil? He's in Malta. He is in Malta. So we're going to discuss that. I would prefer free speech, full stop, but it's been one-sided for some time. Perhaps when they get back, they will agree that free speech is better than being canceled. When they get it back, yes, that's a good point. Maybe they'll agree, but I don't think they'll agree. I mean, the fact that people don't like the other side, and how many. And also, I have said this, and I hope I'm not saying it in a mean way. I try not to be mean. Melons and cucumber, nice euphemism. Well, they're both fruit. Is that what was the point I was making? I lost my train of thought. I was saying that the people on the left have a high carb diet, and it makes you very emotional. And you can Google that. It's not just me. It's not just me. It's that Google high carb diets and emotions. Google that. Google high. Which hand is that? That's this. Maybe I could put this like this. Oh, how does that? That looks a bit better. Doesn't it look better? How does the screen look? Nothing wrong with the lefties being held to their own standards. They campaign for cancel culture and boat migrants, so they can have it. But it doesn't mean that we should have it, as we don't ask for it. Daz says, yeah, a case could be made, but it's like when you're in a very dangerous situation like now, where people are like really upset. Even my son asked me. He said, "Were there really 3 million people at the rally?" Yes, I mean Saturday, and I said I couldn't tell if there were 3 million, but there definitely were way more than 100,000. That's what I said. I don't even know how that's related to this. Alan Williams is here. Hello, Alan. Hello, Alan. Shanks, X is still okay, I think, but the future AI is demonetizing people, and it's based on government rules. Well, we got to change and especially in this country. I saw a very interesting thing. Who watches Black Belt Barrister? Do you ever watch that guy, Black Belt Barrister? I like German euphemisms, bratwurst and sauerkraut. Okay, so do I. But I mean, melons and cucumbers, I think, sounds a bit easier for me. If we're not having free speech, then it should even be. should be even Stevens until we all have it. Well, in theory, that's true. But, what do you do when people are so excited and excitable? Excited and excitable. I saw a map. My son, the producer, he showed me a map of the precincts where people voted for Trump and the precincts where people voted for Kamala. And it was quite interesting. Obviously, people living in cities, which are all I grew up in a city. I'm in a city. There are people that can't take care of themselves. Is that hostile? Will I be criticized for saying people that live in cities cannot take care of themselves? Daniel Shenskrift, Keith Bexley, that guy, black belt barrister. If you like what I'm doing, I'm not saying you like him, because what I'm doing is something different here. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. But he's very organized. He's one of these competent people. Was a teaching karate and a lawyer. I can't do any of that stuff. Hey, hello, Alan. Hi, Alan. With a heart. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm being 100% serious, Russ says. Serious. That means he's not being serious. A police officer was caught sleeping in bed with a what's a word for that? A working girl the other day. His excuse was that he was an undercover cop. Okay, could be a joke. We need our own selection of uncooked euphemisms that we can use ourselves. But that'd be like work, because I'd have a hard time remembering what they are, Shanks. But thank you very Shanks, if you notice that the thumbnails Shanks has done, which I really think is amazing, is really amazing. I like the black belt and the barrister chap. That's the guy. And I was listening to him, and I was thinking, why? I'd love to be like that guy. I'd love to be, but it would be a different show if I sat there. It would be similar, where he's explaining how there's more freedom of speech in America than there is here. Okay? But that doesn't mean this isn't a great country. Was he sleeping with her? Perhaps he was a sleeping policeman. Yeah, Kermit comes in with a joke. There we go. Very good joke, Kermit. So the point is that I'm a natural libertarian. I think people should say what they want to say. In America, you should say, I think we need a civil war. And here, you cannot say that. Now, I just said that. Will it be quoted out of context by AI? Lewis Schaffer's recommended a civil war, and then later he said it was a joke. It's like what happened was what I said about the disability people, where it made it seem like I was advocating horrible things to the disability people. Walt East Phil is saying, just buy a Viz Profanosaurus. I think Shank's artwork is great. I think it is great. I think it's great. It says what Lewis is all about. Don't mention Lewis Schaffer canceled, because I'll get actually canceled. And I've had people try to cancel me, before, and they've been somewhat successful. 100,000 K. Hold on a second. 100,000 K-ish in the Whitehall section, but there were many more waiting to get in. Yeah, they blocked everybody to get in. Well, more than stated. Technically, they were not lying, but it's using a certain criteria to make what they say to be correct. Yes, that's lying. That's lying, because people want to know how many people were there, and they went all the way to Waterloo Bridge. Hi, Lewis. Hello, lovely chat people. Says Claire C. Everybody welcome Claire C. Leanne has been saying nice things to me. Taking your place, Claire. You can't leave me for a second. The collective noun for is an anthology. Is an anthology of English prose. Says Steve Cuff. Says you, Jared. I don't know exactly what that means. Hey, lovely Claire. You're great too, says Joe. She is great. But the truth is that we were in the middle. And when they did that video flyover, they started in the middle and went to the right, toward the east. And we were towards the west. And it was jam-packed all the way to the other bridge. All the way. Douglas Beatty, thinks about 300,000. Yeah, well, why did they say 110,000? If they had just said 300,000 people, I would have thought, okay, that's reasonable. But because they said 110,000 people, they've got egg on their faces. Vatnai says, please don't get a second camera. I can't stand shows or podcasts where the view keeps shifting from front view to side view. It's not necessary to mess with like that. Vantanai, I think you're right. It's just too complicated. It's way too complicated. I wish. I'm going to have to hang something from the curtain up there, behind there. You know what I'll do? I could do that right now. Maybe take a break halfway. I think it is too. Don't mess with it. I mean, that's what this thing is. People are always saying, "Mess with the show, mess with the show." We don't need to mess with the show. Tomorrow, not tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Tuesday. I'm going to the football game. I'm going to the football game to see Crystal Palace play Millwall. I think it's in the Caribbean Cup or something. I brought double concentrate squash. I poured out half the usual amount and add water. Due to the extra water is more diluted than usual. I'll have to pour 75% of the usual amount next time. I mean, squash is tasty, but why is squash tasty? Because it's made with fake sugar, and fake sugar tastes good. Claire says the MSN always lie about anything organized by Tommy Robinson. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that, free country? Come on. Yeah, they don't want it because he's the only, maybe when the new head comes in, he'll be amazing. Maybe. I think we were hoping for the knee cam. Yeah, maybe something on my knee. I'm wearing my tight jeans today. I woke up today, I was 77.9 kilograms. Actually, I was, maybe 79. I would say that that's close to reasonable. Because we could talk about how, when the last time I made it, I'm not going to discuss this. You'll be the third wheel, Joe says. Who, with me and Claire, or me and Leanne, or me and you? Leanne, takes one gorgeous girl to know another. There you go. Thank you, Jarrett, for this. Okay, when I was on the march, I was thinking, can all these people fill up a football stadium? And the answer was yes. Okay, there was at least that many people. Well, that's a football stadium only has 50, 60,000 people, maybe 80,000 people, maybe 100,000 people in the biggest stadiums. So, yes. And you can't see in all the directions. And the problem is, they lie. The BBC are liars. You can ban me. Is that hate speech to call them liars? And our money is going to them? Not mine anymore. But during the middle of the night, I heard some noises out. Here's another joke. Some noises outside, according to Russ. And when I looked out the window, I saw a man trying to steal my garden gate. I wanted to shout at him, but he was worried he might take offense. Offense. Right, because you've got a garden gate and the entire fence. He might take offense. Okay, that's all right. Leanne, I'm not sure what those emoticons mean. Are they good? Are they bad? What is Leanne's? You have to ask, well, what do they mean? One is a heart. Their heart with fire, and Lewis with sweat. Yeah, you gotta check it out. I think people should be allowed an opinion they want, but the community corrections should be posted on anyone claiming someone is a fascist or a Nazi when it doesn't come close to the definition. Well, what does it come close to? What do they mean by that? What do they mean? And why are they using that? They're calling us those words, that N word and the F word. I'm not sure I should even be allowed to say those words. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I should be allowed to. Yeah, Leanne is saying she likes the ID. She's feeling hot over my over my knee. That is good. Keep the love flowing. Remember why I'm doing this. It's way more important that Lewis is a cult leader than making money. More important than this. More important than this. I'm trying to get lessons from her. It's a yeah, Gammy. You laugh. Daz is laughing at Gammy Russ because he tries to make a lot of jokes and he succeeds. More often than people who don't make any jokes. So I support Gammy Russ. Hey everybody, Kerry Macca comes in. Remember this: when you come in, you can say hello. This is one of Lewis Schaffer's horrible, horrible rules. You can say hello, and when you leave, you don't say goodbye because it makes me cry. Reminds me of my mother being shipped off to the mental hospital. I don't want to know. I don't want to know goodbyes. I don't want to know. She didn't stay there forever, but it was sad when she was there. She seemed like she was having a good time at one of the most prestigious hospitals in America, paid for by American insurance. You're looking gorgeous as ever, Claire says. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm not happy about the light here. The light, that's still a bit too bright on that side. How is that? Is that better? Yes, Ruben. Thank you, Ruben, for coming in there. Remember to like, remember to subscribe. You can't donate any money, and maybe you can't subscribe. Can you subscribe if you haven't subscribed? And go to Patreon or PayPal.me/Lewis Schaffer. PayPal. It's really important to me. It's not that important. Okay, so what was I saying? What was I saying before? We were talking about the monetization, which we're not going to worry about. I put a reply in. I said I was a satirical comedian, and I said, I asked the producer, can it hurt? I need a lot of help. That's the thing in life. I need help. I asked my producer, will it hurt? He says it probably is not going to hurt, so I put it in. Will it help? It may not help, but I put it in. And the fact is, we're looking at this for free. This is not. How do you say scoon? Scoon. Is that right, Steve Cuff? How do you pronounce Scone? Not scone, as I would say it in America, but in Scotland we say it's scoon, which is used to be my favorite foods. Is a scoon. I had it in now I'm place dropping, whatever. Storm is actually in trouble. He ducked out of the Commons today, and Trump will be in town any minute now. Yeah, maybe. I'm doing that show tomorrow night. I'm doing the show tomorrow night. I'll tell you where the show is. I don't know. Maybe you can go and turn up and see if you can get in there. Maybe you could do that. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to put it in this thing. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on. We got 34 people watching. That's so good. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. That's where the show is. I think it starts at 7:30. Probably go there at 7:30. Do you know where that is? Should I be putting that up there? I'm not even sure. I should be putting that up there. I'm pretty sure. Okay. What are we up to? Did I pronounce it correctly? Maltese Phil. What do you know? You're not Scottish. My ex-wife was Scottish. Do we know if PMQs is happening tomorrow with the arrival of Trump? I think it should happen. Who is Trump? He's not the leader of this country. He's not the leader of this country who was unalived. Keith Bexley says, I don't know, Joe. Might be deputy instead, which is Lammy at the moment. Yes. It's a bit sad. So many different ways to say it. I say, Steve Cuff, I say scoon. Sounds like scone. Sounds like scone. You're making a joke. That's what Maltese feels. Scone sounds like scone. Postcode would help. You want me to check to see the postcode? Okay, let me check. I'll see the postcode. Or you can check it out yourself. Or you can do it yourself. How about that? Okay, I'm going to go right here. Okay. Okay, does that look right? You know what you could do if you live in the south of London, or like in the south. Let's say you live in Bexley or Eastbourne. You could take the train to East Croydon, maybe, and then change for a train to Balham. I think that might help you get there. Or maybe a train to Wimbledon, possibly, and see if that can take you there. How about that? Why I'm such a big help. Can I thank you people for being here? Okay. Maltesville, it may not sound Scottish, but I did watch Rab C. Nesbitt with the subtitles on, so I'm a fluent drug Glaswegian. I've heard of that guy. I never saw it, an episode. Lammy answering questions could be the end of the Labour Party, the Labour Party. Yeah, Steve Cuff says that's quite possible. Lemmy would be awesome if he was still with us. Yeah, he's got that boil on his face. Don't have a boil, and that comes from a high carb, alcohol based diet, or just a high carb diet. It's Scoon Palace, split scoons, split scones, says Lorna. Hello, Lorna. Is there anyone in the Labour Party who is better than Starmer? I mean, he's absolutely awful, but the rest are even worse. Keith Jarrett, I mean, I know no one listens to me, but does it matter? And does it matter that do you want a competent leader of the party? Would you have complained because the mustache man was not should be replaced by somebody competent in Germany? No. You don't want somebody competent. Lewis, am I going to miss you doing a show? When? When? When, Claire? Biscuits and gravy in the U.S. is a biscuit, a scone type thing, but savory. I would say yes, as far as I know. Remember, I never had a biscuit until I was like 22 years old. We didn't have biscuits. They're big in America, but we didn't have them. But a biscuit is like it's almost rock hard, as you know. So it's similar to shaped like a scone, but a scone can be more fluffy. Not a scone. I mean, I used to eat scones. I used to eat them all the time. I used to buy them at Sainsbury's and take them home, all butter scones. And I don't do that anymore because they're high carbs. We love you, Lewis Schaffer. Thank you very much, Maltese Phil, which is why we're here and not in bed with our significant others. You can be in bed with a significant, as long as you videotape something. I'm not saying you should. That's a joke. That's a joke. If you need to find a different leader in labor, it'd be like picking what's another word for that? A night soil thing from a river of night soil, says Donna Aylesbury. I went to see Rad C. Nesbitt live, says Lorna. He was hilarious. Trini Constantine. Okay, that's a new name. Have you seen this name before? I haven't seen it. Why not play a nice intro instead of this boomer bumbling? Because some people want to see boomer bumbling. And I'm a boomer, and I'm a bumbler, and I don't mind bumbling. And it makes people feel better, and if they don't have to watch it. Basically. Are you a boomer? How old are you? Trini Constantine. Who are you? Why don't you try telling us a few jokes instead of just complaining? Because I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. Why don't you tell us some jokes? We've got Russ here to tell us jokes. Kermit told us the joke. Yeah, I mean, you do what you want to do. Small Brown Richard III. Shanks, is that a name for what we were talking about? Maybe I'm not going to miss you doing a show. I'm confused. It's okay. I've been talking to my uncle about his bowel movements. Yeah, is that another word? Am I a boobler? Was that the word that was used, or boomer? Is that a boomer? What did she call me? Boomer, not a boobler. That's another word. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a boobler is. Someone's laughing at Trini. Okay. Lammy and Abbott would be funnier than Father Ted. I saw him on the TV and he seemed really competent until they asked him questions that I knew the answer to, you know? That's the thing with politicians. They they can just, whatever that's called, they can just stretch the truth. Not even stretch the truth. They can come up with an answer that isn't an answer, but it doesn't make them seem stupid. Lammy and Abbott, yeah. Ruben comes in and says, Shanks, you need to put up a disclaimer, even though it's not funny. What is that? What did Shanks say? What kind of disclaimer? Trini, we all love Lewis here, no matter if he tells jokes or not. Thank you, Claire. Thank you. Claire loves me. Can we get new complaints and new misfortunes? There's only a limited number of people that even someone like me can complain about. But I think I'm pretty good complaining. Trini, where are you from? Where are you going? How old are you? Are you a man or a woman? Are you fat? They could get Graham Linehan to write their script. Claire C., are you all bumbling boomers too? No, she's not a bumbling boomer. She's young. She's incredibly, incredibly young, Claire. As all the women here, all the women are young and they're intellectually, what is that word? What did they say? They're all intellectually above average. Above average. I'm bumbling. I'm bungling. That's why Kermit had to help me with my computer thing. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I might be near death. I used to be much smarter than I am now. I'm not that smart anymore. It's good to hear people complaining, though. How else do we know that others think the same as me? It's powerful in some ways. It creates a movement. Yes. I want to complain about the low levels entertainment and information here. Well, you hit the right guy. You can complain to me. I'm disappointed in this show too, Trini. Don't you think I want this show to be funnier? And these are the people that like me, and I'm being not funny for them. You don't even like me, and I'm worried about you too. Okay. We know from yesterday that you don't shower. I do shower occasionally. I shower much less than I used to, and I barely use soap, and I don't use shampoo, and I don't use deodorant. So it's up to you. If you want to, are you a woman or a man? Would you like to smell me up close? So every time you beg for money in this pathetic way, begging for money is always pathetic. Asking for money is always considered pathetic. Or maybe people want to support me. Maybe they come here every day for 2 hours, or most days for 2 hours, and they think I'll slip the guy 10 pence a day. I heard a business owner using the term whifties, Vatanai says, over 50s with money. Whifties. Yeah, Trini, no. I'm a skinny, leggy blonde who adores Lewis and all these people. Can I just say for a fact, Claire is really leggy. Her legs go to the ceiling and they touch the floor. They're quite leggy. Wait, that sounds like Trini is complaining. Yeah, we don't know. She could be Holly Hills. We don't know. Are you a boy or a girl? Or were you a girl and now you're a boy? What are you now? Tell me what you are so I can fantasize about you. I like the name Trini. I think it's like Trini Lopez. That's a great name. Trinidad. I had a friend of mine who has a kid named Trini. I like it a lot. Daz, have you been talking to Claire's uncle too? Claire was talking to her uncle. I'm jealous. Leanne, talk about another beautiful woman. I was on the march with Leanne and Claire. I was right in the middle, and I felt like $1 million. $1 million. Because when someone has decided to spam the chat. Maybe they get tired of your hurt puppy look. Who is this, says? Are you talking to me? Trini, are you that Holly Hills character? I shouldn't have said anything. Are you going to talk about your demonetized at the MAGA night and help promote Uncooked? Well, I probably will forget to mention Uncooked. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I haven't prepared a second. I'm going to the football game tonight, so that's a good point. Shanks, thank you for reminding me. Daz, Trini, stop complaining. Trini Constantine comes in and says, "You're all washed up, Lewis. When was I cleaned up? Am I all washed up? So maybe that's why I don't need to worry about germs. I got a friend of mine, I was talking to her, and she's talking about germ theory too. She doesn't believe in it. She doesn't believe in it. Fantastic. We all like what we like, and for people who do not like it, come and watch to find it. That's strange. Yeah, you probably find it strange. I like Trini. She's like really commenting a lot. Daz, I'm trying to raise the standard of entertainment here. Okay, maybe it's working. I don't know. Uh, do you what? Trini? Well, do you what? You speak to Trini. What does she do? If Lewis is all washed up, he has showered. So all good, Trini. Yeah, I don't believe in washing up. Look at my skin. Look, I'm licking my skin. Who knows what germs are on there? I do wash my hands. I do wash my hands. I'm not even sure that's necessary, though. Is it mostly women here? I don't know. Maltese Phil, you a woman? Mostly men. No, he says mostly men. You ain't too youthful yourself. Remember, Trini and Suzanne. You ain't too youthful yourself to remember, Trini and Suzanne. Trini. Who's Trini and Suzanne? Steve Cuff says, make sure you sing Keir Starmer is a W at the football. I'll help sing it, but I mean, does it matter that he is? He's gone. His job is like a holding pattern while the media spread their lies. They don't need it. It's like Joe Biden. Was Joe Biden president? Does it matter whether he was sane or not? No, he's in a holding pattern. He got the call from Obama. Obama got the call from somebody. Everyone's getting the call from somebody else. Trini, you must lead a very boring, uneventful life to bother coming here to throw insults on your first visit, says Ruben. Maybe not. Maybe not. She hasn't hurt me. What could you say that could hurt me? I mean, I'd like to hear that. And to call me washed up, to call me a failure, to call me a loser. I mean, that's not news. Everyone knows that. I know that. No, not all women, Trini. Probably half and half mix, I think. Yeah, probably, yeah. I wouldn't use deodorant with aluminum. Yes, I wouldn't use aluminum with aluminum. Well, aluminum is not the problem. Maybe something else. Rubbing it on your skin, under your arms, and close to your lymph system. Toxic, says Vantanai. But believe it or not, aluminum is a man-made product. And you need high levels of electricity, so maybe you're right. But bauxite, which is the basis of aluminum, you put bauxite and you heat it up or whatever, you electrify it, is one of the most common elements on Earth. But I recommend against it. Okay. So why wouldn't you use aluminum? Trini Woodhall and Suzanne Constantine had a fashion show back in the day. Okay, 2 points for Kermit. That's so interesting. How can you say half and half, Leanne, when there are 76 genders? That's a joke. That's a good joke. Yeah, how can you say? And what is a gender? If I go around saying I'm a success gender, does that make me successful? Who knows? Okay, why is Claire C not saying anything? She did say something, Jared. She said she had long legs, which I can attest to. Beautiful long legs. I like short legs too. And she's quite tall and she's blonde. She's fantastic. Americans can no longer say what Charlie Kirk said when he was alive before he was shot for saying whatever it was he said. Is that true? Is that true? That is not true. That is not true. Everything is too complicated for the bewildered blue boomer. Am I bewildered blue boomer? I am a baby boomer. I was born in 1957. 1957. And look at how good I look. Let's look at that. Not a wrinkle on my face. Not a wrinkle on my face. Claire says, I have a pretty good idea who Trini is, you, but I shall keep it to myself for now. Yes, very good. Let's keep it to ourselves. You know, people don't like me. Don't like me. Eloise, my toilet has come loose and is now leaking onto the floor. Yikes. I don't think we needed to know that. You might get called out for punctuation. Trini is, yeah, she is the bewildered boomer. I don't know if does it need a punctuation there? I'm not sure. Lorna says, we love you, Lewis Schaffer. That's what I love about you people. I love you people. You people are great. I'm going to take a 2-minute break and get a glass of water. Can you stay there? Can you stop writing if you can remember that? Because I can't answer you. I'm going to go in the other room and put a little water on my face, and then I'll be right back in. Do you mind? Okay. Hello, Lewis Schaffer is back. Okay, Trini asks, are you a Millwall supporter? Millwall is my closest team, and I want Millwall to do well. They're owned by Americans, and I want them to do well. Okay, I don't believe in the demonization of. I mean, are they doing? Why are they? I'm a Crystal Palace supporter, but I support all British football. I think it's the best sport ever. Leanne comes in. I was the youngest. I'm nearly the youngest on here. Dad is the youngest. Methinks, if I remember. Daddy. You mean Daddy? Daddy Bannister. He's in Laos. Daz comes in and says, I never knew the difference between sex and gender when it's on forums. I never knew it too. I didn't know it until you need to get your head around it. I always thought it meant the same thing, or that they didn't want to say sex on a form. Yeah, it's like saying what you believe in. You don't look like a guy with a garden gate. Okay, that's a good. I don't know what that means. That means we don't have a garden. That's a bit elitist, Trini. Very elitist. Lots of people do not have garden gates. The council didn't build most houses with garden. Maybe they did with garden gates, so poor people don't have them. Lewis, I think of you all the time and if I was sexually active, I would think of you while having sex too. Okay. Is Ruben the youngest? He's only 27. That's like a baby. Claire says she loves me. I have to read everything that Claire writes. I would guess that Trini is a Gen X man. Yes, I would. She writes in a very aggressive, manly, way. I'm not saying it's unattractive, but I would say that that's right, Carmen. What else can we say about Trini? I don't think we need to know that. Did I say that? Should I say that too? Who should I say that? If I see sex on a forum, I just put yes, says Steve Cuff. Another good joke. Trini, you are going to give him a makeover. He doesn't need one, though. Oh, you're going to give me a makeover. I take advice wherever I can get it. If you come up to me and say you're fat or you need a new haircut, and I believed you to be sincere, I would take it. Trini, are you going to give... Okay. Kerry Mack is here. She's from Northern Ireland. I'm one of you, the youngest here, laugh out loud. Well, I think I am anyway. Still youthful. You could be older and youthful. You could be older and youthful. I mean, if you're attacking me for being a boomer, that means you're attacking me for being old. And if you're attacking me for being old, what are you, like some kind of Chinese communist during the Cultural Revolution? You know, let's kill old people. That's a horrible thing to do. I don't think, when I say kill, I mean alive, unalive. Trini, you're going to give, okay. Okay. I thought you would comment. I was trying to give you, not to give my age away. I would say this, you are one of the youngest here, Leanne. And when I saw you on the march, I thought you are one of the youngest in the group, basically. One of the youngest in the group. So yes. Not that it matters to me, you know. I don't care I don't care how old someone is. I'm going to do you. Can I say that? Leanne says you have transposed them numbers. Means he's 72. I thought you would comment, okay, Leanne. Oh, my age away. My age away. You're talking to me about how old? I'm 68 years old. I said I was born in 1957. Don't make life too easy for them. The fact is, here is the... Let's see how many people are watching our stream. 37 people watching. How great is that? How great is that? I am so happy with this stream, and I'm so happy with you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And something is wrong with the feed coming here. Okay. Claire, let's be nice. Let's be nice to Trini. Remember, every person that watches is another person who could be won over to us. You know, or maybe just we can listen to what they have to say and say maybe they're right about certain things. How about that? Let's be nice to Trini if she wants to attack us. Americans don't eat biscuits, but cookies. That's true. That is true. But I live here. I'm not in America. I like the idea that I'm called the bewildered boomer. Keeps saying he doesn't know what's going on, and this entertains his bewildered boomer viewers who have nothing better to do than listen to his pathetic witterings. That's quite a long sentence. Is there proper pronunciation there? Who can change the pronunciation? Possibly. You know, what do you think? Yeah, well, whatever reason. People watch lots of stuff that are absolutely rubbish. You know, Beyonce or Taylor. I'm trashing them. I think Taylor Swift is amazing. She might be a guy. She's got no butt. But maybe she's not a guy. She's not a guy. I have an echo. Does anyone else have an echo? Let me see. Does anybody else have an echo on this chat? Does anybody else have an echo? My brother-in-law is 79, Lorna. Next month, but looks about 59. He is a biker too. That's good. It's good to look young. I'm 68 years old. Do I look young for 68? Look at this. Not a single wrinkle. Not a single. Can you see? There's not a single wrinkle. Hold on a second. There's not a single wrinkle on my face. No plastic surgery. Can you see a single wrinkle? Lewis, Chinese communists have a negative view of Islam. What do you think about that? First of all, you got to tell me what you think about it, and I'll say what I think about it. Are the people here people you have had sex with? Is that why they are so fond of you? The truth is, I would have, and they know I would do every single one of them. They know it. They know it. If they came to me, if a guy came to me, he'd have to make a good case for it. But he'd have to say, Lewis, you got to kiss me or I'll die. What could I say no? What musical is that from? Okay. He needs to start the whole sentence from scratch, Lewis. It is very uncreative. And it's a bit long. It's a bit long. I'm no fan of Beyonce. I can cope with Taylor Swift. I have to agree with that. The fact that Beyonce got paid £10 million, $10 million to elect Joe Biden to show up for that thing, or whatever. Maybe it was less than that, but whatever. She was paid. No echo now. Maybe I'm screaming, but echo has come in a couple of times for like 10 seconds. That's a bit odd. I'll lower the sound here. How does that sound now? I've been told by Kermit. Okay. Vatanai says, Trini, yes, but the biscuits I mentioned earlier were not like the sweet biscuits cookies we eat. Biscuits and gravy is an American dish, and the biscuit is like a hard, savory scoon. Yes, they're delicious, but they're still. It's when you're starving, you eat the gravy because it's got some protein. You lick the plate clean. It's an old fashioned. It's an old fashioned Appalachian mountain dish, and the Appalachian Mountains come from Northern Ireland and Scotland. That's where they come from, those people. Where I live, there is a man going around at night stealing people's car wheels. The police say they're working tirelessly to catch him. That's a good one too. That would be a massive compliment, Lewis. What did I say that was I don't know what I said that was complimentary. But I like Taylor's. I like Taylor's. Do I like her? No. I mean, do I like her? You just feel the sadness there. I'm sorry. You feel the sadness. Where is Joodles? Maybe Joodles is mad at me. I hope she isn't mad at me. Sometimes I think she's mad at me and she's not mad at me. But I don't want her to be mad at me. Where's Lucy? She's not here either. Maybe she is. Maybe she's just watching and maybe she's mad at me. We've got, how many people do we have listening to this? Maybe there's an echo here. I'm going to turn this off. This could be the echo. Okay. That's the Discord. Can we look on Discord? Can we do the thumbs up on the page? Thumbs up on Stream 98. Okay. Okay, I don't know what that is. We are very trying, but mean well, the answer, Joe says. Yeah, let's try to be as nice as possible because you have to remember one thing about the left is that they bought something whole. They bought that they were going to be taken care of. No, I didn't. No. Yes, it can happen. I've got peeing problems. You shouldn't make fun of me. I don't have peeing problems during the daytime, but I wake up at night and have to go pee. So I do that. I do that, Trini. Do you have peeing problems? I mean, my problems are basically my peeing has gotten better, and I don't have any major problems. Keep the big mic on full. Okay, Kermit says. This is on full. Joe asked Ruben a question. Let's see what Ruben says. I spent some time in the Appalachian Mountains, bears and rednecks. Yeah, it's a specific part of America. Bears and rednecks. There's a very interesting channel on YouTube called Tasting History with Max Miller. Lots of old American and world recipes. The answer is somewhat interested, but remember, I'm very triggered by food. Very triggered by food. Vatanai. But that's a good point. Have you seen it? Have you seen that? You must have seen it. Tasting History of Max Miller. The echo may be arising from a webcam or something. Let me maybe turn this off. How about that? I'll turn off stuff. Kermit says, arising from the webcam or something. We can check that out later. Okay, we'll have to check that out. I had a little chat with Kermit. I would say a good guy. Are you married, Kermit? I didn't ask you that question. Are you married? The police in this country are a joke. The other day, a police officer, this is a joke, people. I'm not calling them a joke. A police officer tried to arrest a plate of fish and chips. The reason was assault and battery. Okay, another good one. No, not one of my favorites, but a good one. Assault and battery. Fish and chips. Assault and battery. I've really got to cry. No, you don't. You don't. Maltese Phil. Look, Google Maltese Phil. I'm now friends. I'm now a follower of Maltese Phil. That's what a great guy Lewis Schaffer is. The left are confused for what they stand for now. One moment they're against big government and big business. The next, they're all for it. Daz says, I don't think they're confused. I think they know exactly what they stand for. They stand for, please give me something. We want the government to give me something. That's what it's all about. The government has to give me something. The government has to give me something. Alan Williams. Not that I'm against the government. The government takes. The government should give back. But the government shouldn't take. And people would be a lot happier. That's why we've got to end. I mean, really, I'm not going to say what I'm going to send. Alan Williams comes. Lorna says she can't hear it. She can't hear an echo. I live on Gorp for 2 weeks. I had to live on Gorp for 2 weeks. Gorp are M&Ms, peanuts, and mushrooms. And not mushrooms. Not mushrooms. Malamars. Marshmallows. Is that what Gorp is? Is that what Gorp is? I used to eat on that. I used to go hiking all the time. Thank you. See, that Trinity is so nice. She says the sound is okay. I can tell she's okay. We'll find out later. She's my next girlfriend. She'll say, Lewis, I thought you were a horrible person, but I love you now. Or maybe she'll say, this is Paul Chinese Elvis, and I was just trying to make the show more interesting. Which maybe you have. Maybe you have made it more interesting. There's a lone cow, says Steve Cuff, wandering along the road the other night. The police came and moved it to an udder field. Udder field. Udder field. Okay, that's all right. Good. Also good, Steve Cuff. I'm triggered by food vatanai, but I like learning about cowboy pork and beans, bacon, and Johnny cakes. What is a Johnny cake? This has been the best show ever. Thank you, Steve Cuff. It's the best show ever. We're going to have to end about 10 minutes early because I've got to go watch that football game. I got to get all the way down to Crystal Palace to watch the football. Trini says, this is the best show ever because I'm here. Might be. We don't know. It might be the best show. We've had pretty good shows in the past with Steve Cuff and Vantanai and Maltese Phil and Leanne and Joe and Joodles, and you weren't here, so maybe it was you, but maybe it's not. We all need a holiday to Malta to confirm his lady friend is good enough for him, he thinks. Then he can show us 3 places for real. 3 places in Malta. Where would you go? Where are the 3 places? There's so many. It's like the place is all history. It's fantastic. It's fantastic history. I mean, I liked Rabat. I like going to Rabat. I was staying in, I forgot what the name of the town was. Yeah, you liked my stream, so you're not all bad. You're not, I mean, are you bad? Have you said anything that's really a bad thing to say? And mean it? You haven't. I don't know. You've been all right. You've been all right. So maybe we'll go to Malta. It would be nice to go to Malta. We have to check any new partner is good enough for Maltese Phil. No, you let him decide. You let him decide. I don't want anybody looking over my relationships with you, Leanne, or Joe, or Joanne, or Lorna. I don't, Magar. That's right. I was in Magar. And it was just nice. It was just really, really nice. And we get so close to the water, and we walked all the way up to the 1870 wall that they built. The English built a wall to make the island safer, I guess. Can you get a camera at the football? Can you get on camera at that football game? Will it be televised? I don't know where I'll be sitting. I'm normally sitting, I forget what the name of the stand, not in the Arthur Waite stand. What's the other stand? I think maybe it's the Arthur Waite stand. Pretty damn close. That's where my friend Justin has his tickets. It's different with you, Lewis. You are the cult leader. So What does it mean I'm different? It's different with me. I mean, I can go out with whoever I want to go out with. Maybe I can. Maybe can I go out with everybody? Joodles is here. She's been here since she came in. Where have you been? Have you been in the background? Are you not here? Everybody say hello. Say hello. Maize flour, molasses, salt, cinnamon, fat, and milk formed into pannies and fried, a staple of the Oregon Trail. So it's corn flour, molasses, which is like a sugar, salt, cinnamon, fat. So it's basically a sweet treat. Fat and milk formed into patties. That sounds brilliant, Fontenay. My lady is awesome. Even when I showed her the weird stuff I like to do. That can change. Lewis, you are amazing, handling the abuses in the best way. I just know how lovely you are. You support Millwall too. I mean, unfortunately, in this game, I support Crystal Palace, but I mean, I want Millwall to do well. If Millwall goes all the way, I will support Millwall against any team. It's my number 2 team, is Millwall. And I believe you should support your home team. My chum was on the phone for ages. Hi, lovely people. That's what Judel says. Sex weird stuff. Do you mean Maltese Phil? Who is saying that? My lady is the weird stuff, right? Weird stuff. Okay. I mean, this is good. This is good. You sit behind the goal. Which goal? There are 2 goals. Darklands is here. Hello, Darklands. Welcome to the Lewis Schaffer Uncooked podcast. Thank you very much. Where are you coming from? Are you fat? How do you look? Are you a male and female? Darklands. Which goal do you sit behind, Trini? I don't believe you now. I am good at guessing. Laugh out loud, Lorna. Lots of interesting historic food suggestions on tasting history. I can imagine. People used to eat weird stuff. They ate weird stuff in this country in the 1980s. In the 1990s, they ate weird stuff. And you're eating weird stuff now. And it's not just fried Mars bars. These are just weird stuff. Wales, UK, Darklands. Go Wales. Are you a female? Okay, that's so good. Darklands is a female. Would you say Wales is Darklands? Is it dark land? Trini might be your son. No, he wouldn't be my son. I can't imagine either of my sons doing that. He could be a friend of one of my sons. Leanne loves Wales, so do I. Trini. He might be a friend of one of my sons. I can't believe that the producer would do that. He's a very busy man. And my other son, his sense of humor, I would recognize his sense of humor. I'm pretty sure. But so it's not that way. It's basically not that way. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's go to, let's get on Discord, everybody. Discord can be rocking, especially when this thing isn't on. And I was talking about this to, with Kermit over Discord. It was really helpful. It was like WhatsApp. It's like you think, well, WhatsApp is special, but it's not that special. Okay. Hey, this is for Discord, everybody. Everybody get on the Discord. Can't show history, no. That's Discord. Millwall stoned me and my dad when I was about 7 or 8 years old. Luckily, he used to take a wooden stool with us so I could stand on it and be able to see the game. It protected our heads. There you go, prepared. That's not nice. It got a bit carried away. What happened is that England was too nice a country, so they allowed football hooliganism for part of it. And then they said, we got to get rid of football hooliganism. And then when they got rid of that, they realized we had no army. We had no strong people. Post what at the end, Joodles? Are you talking to me that I should post the Millwall people? Okay. They have to be older friend to know about Trini and Susanna, I doubt. Even Ron would know about that. That's a good point. I didn't know when she called herself Trini Constantine. I didn't know who she was talking about because I'm not from this country. Parts of Wales are very dark due to corrupt authorities. Yeah. I mean, look who they appointed as their prime minister. That really ugly guy. I don't even want to say he's ugly. That Discord link lasts 10 minutes. Posting it now takes people away from the stream. Well, okay, I'll post it at the end too. Is it only 10 minutes? I thought it could be a week. Why is sometimes it says a week. Sometimes it says a week. Your link expires in 7 days, it says. Set this link to never expire. There you go. I'm going to set it for never to expire. But that's a good point because I have seen it as 10 minutes. I've seen it as 7 days. And that's the never expire one. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Thank you, Thank you, Darklands. Why are you in our chat? And thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. There is a guy who lives in the Lake District who's a food historian and does lessons. Brilliant and very interesting. Well, what about Lewis Schaffer's history? Raw meat. That's ancient history. A couple's holiday was canceled, and the reason is that they are Welsh. How bad is that? Why were they canceled? She was on GB News this morning. People don't hate Welsh people, do they? We didn't hate Scottish people until they started to hate us. Even the producer wouldn't have sniffed out the merging of two names from the past. Yeah, because he's too young. He's too young. I remember wasn't one of them a big girl? Maybe, or was that somebody else? Trini. No, Trini was the skinny one, and the other one was... Anyway, that's all good. Why can't we have tailgate parties here, Lewis? Why can't we? Are we not allowed to? Are we not allowed to? We've done very well. We're going to have to end the show a bit early tonight. A bit early. We're up to a bit early. We're up to 32 people watching, which is, I think, quite amazing. Quite amazing. Lorna, that's because you were born Welsh. There's no better place to go, apart from the Isle of Man, of course. The Isle of Man. Yeah. I mean, I've holidayed a few times, 3 or 4 times or more in Wales. I went to Constantine Beach, or is that not in Wales? Maybe that's in Cornwall. I think it's in Cornwall. Okay. My mom didn't like my Welsh boyfriend, but that's probably a different story, says Joe. What's the Trini thing? What have I missed? Anyone got Cliff Notes? Darklands is laughing. So you're from Wales and you're female. Well, thank you very much. One was rounded and one was skinny with pointy. I don't think we know that. Do we know that? Vatanai. Yeah, they were pretty girls. They were pretty girls. I mean, they were pretty girls. I mean, the sad thing is, this is what the sad thing is, or the good thing is like, as I get older, I'm getting more and more appreciative of beauty. I see beauty in all different places. I'm not as all different kinds of beauty. thin beauty. I mean, don't be fat. Please, don't be fat. But you could even see beauty in a girl with a little bit of weight. Trini turned up and was a bit off with a few comments. It wasn't too bad. No, it wasn't too bad. I mean, maybe she was just trying to make the show more interesting. That can happen. You know, as a comedian, that's quite a common thing. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm making the show better. That's a very big difference between English comedy shows and American comedy shows. No American goes to a show and says, I'm going to put the funny in a comedy show. They go, I've paid £15 to get in here, or £25, whatever. And this guy better make me laugh. In Britain, the audience will provide the humor if the comedian isn't funny. And this show is a perfect example of that. Look at how many jokes are you constantly making. But in America, they'll stand up and they'll say, you're not funny. And then they'll walk out demanding money. It's possible, Jedster. Jedster's here. It's quite possible that is the case. That is the case, that it is that. I hope it isn't. I'd like to have a few different people coming to heckle us, not one and the same. Lewis, when you were growing up in Brooklyn, well, I didn't grow up in Brooklyn, except for the first 3 years of my life. I lied. I told people I was from Brooklyn, which is true. I lived in Brooklyn for the first 3 years. I lived in Brooklyn for the last 3 years. I was there. I grew up in Great Neck, Long Island, New York. Greatneck. Okay, but Russ wants to know, when I was growing up in Brooklyn, were you a part of a street gang? And if the answer is yes, did you wear a bandana on your head? Well, I was 3 years old, or even less than 3 years. I think we moved in October, perhaps, of 1960. Wasn't Holly crusty socks, though? I forgot what that means. British humor definitely different than American humor. It definitely is, because this is an island off the coast. This is island humor. It's an island off the coast of America. I've seen an ancient map where Cornwall was labeled as Wales and Wales was labeled as North Wales. Well, it's possible because they were similar countries in a way. They were both Celtic language countries. You're in South Wales. Okay. I've done many, many, many gigs in South Wales. I've been in Swansea. I've been in Neath. I've been in what's the capital of Wales? Swansea. I've been in Newport. I've been all over. What's the capital? What's the capital? I can't remember the capital. My mind is gone. They're all Celts, Alan. They are. They are all Celts. Well, welcome to the country. Welcome. I always include the Welsh. We're fighting for this country. Who's going to fight for this country? Swansea and Cardiff. That's right, Cardiff. I can't believe I was saying Cardiff and I didn't hear it. Cardiff, yeah, Cardiff. Wales. W is the capital. What is the capital, Steve? Anyway, and Lewis, you lived in Long Island, same as Run DMC and LL Cool J. I don't know where they lived. Tell me where they lived, and I'll say if they lived near me. We did not have any black people very few black people living near me. Because America was a very segregated country, really segregated. People, they left. They left. Have you ever played the Glee Club? Yes, I have. Many times. A few times. Many times. Best comedy room in the entire country. And I played the Glee Club in Cardiff, too. Yes, fantastic club. That's when I used to be a comedian. Maybe I'll be a comedian tomorrow at this thing. I'm getting a bit nervous about it. I might have to end the show tomorrow a bit earlier. First laugh in days, mate. Well, what are you laughing at? What is funny? Yes. Run DMC, Hollis, Queens. Hollis, Queens is basically due south of Great Neck, but it's a very different place. Hollis, Queens. Yeah. So Hollis, Queens was nice. It was a working class community. It was, working class. Wales is the only country in British Isles that I've not been to. My son once took a horse there. Okay, that's good to know. Can you tell us a more detailed story? Wales was the word that the Saxons invented, used to describe those who moved westward. It meant foreigners. I've heard a different explanation, Vant and I. I heard that Wales means people who spoke a foreign language. So that's why it meant foreigners. It was actually a slur on the Welsh that they had a different language. That's where the different language people. Okay, Kermit says, I'll show you where Run DMC lived. Walk this way. Yes, that's right. Leanne, Kermit is laughing at Kermit. He's very funny. He doesn't look like he could be funny, but he's actually very funny. We did own some land there once. I almost forgot. I've seen Wales twice, but never crossed into it. What does that mean? You climbed on top of one of the mountains. Not missing much in Wales. You are missing a lot up there in the mountain. What's the tallest mountain in the state? In the place there. The beaches are unbelievable. I've been to St. David's. Really beautiful. And the people, the amazing thing about the Cornish, I'm not English, but they are really nice people, at least to me. Lewis, in the early 1980s, were you a break dancer? I never broke anything. You're not going to pin that on me. How will Lewis cope tomorrow night without any jokes to read from the chat? Why won't there be any jokes tomorrow night? Oh, I see. How am I just going to talk? I might have a problem. I don't know. I'm beginning to get a bit worried. This is me. I usually worry beforehand when I'm about to do something. Are you going to come to the show, Jedster? Anyway, there are lots of gorgeous places in Wales. Yes, there are. Anyway, so as I said before, I usually worry before the show. I worry while I'm doing the show, and I worry after the show. The Gower Peninsula is superb, and the Brecon Beacons is another really amazing place. We're talking about Wales. This is good. Well, do you want to fall out over it? I could have gone into history teacher mode, but I would have run out of words. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is something I had not heard. Wales has a parliament. Scotland has a parliament. Northern Ireland has a parliament. And it has an assembly. England has FA, nothing. People are really friendly. Well, most are. Yeah, they're friendly there. They are friendly. Well, most, I don't even want to say it because they might disbar me or something. But loser nations are genuinely friendly. I'm not saying you're a loser because you're bad. I'm saying you lost the battle against the English. And when you lose the battle, you tend to be friendly. You're not as arrogant. The English people haven't lost. They haven't lost in 1,000 years. So when people are invading the country, they don't believe that they're going to lose. They don't believe it. But I guarantee you'll believe it. But that's why you're so arrogant. Anyway, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I'll explain it. Keith Bexley says, Shepherd's Bush. What about Shepherd's Bush? You don't look funny. You look like you're a director of a type of movie. You look like a professional guy. I shouldn't be I'm not going to talk about you. It's totally impolite. Kermit, is your job IT specific, or are you just funny and clever? He's a bright guy is what he is. Anybody who's smart can be funny and clever. It's a lot harder for people like me, who's a bit dim, to be funny and clever. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so funny and clever, because you're looking at me and saying, this guy looks a bit dim. This guy is dim. And why am I laughing? I don't know. I'm guessing that this is what you get from me. This is what you get. This is what you get. He is an all-rounder, Leanne, says Joe. Yes, he is. Daz comes in and says, Shepherd's Bush is not Keith. Well, that was a joke I made yesterday. You can't leave us with that. We need more, Lorna. What did Lorna say? I'm checking what Lorna said. I don't see what Lorna says, or is it Leanne? Joodles comes in and says, I knew that's what he meant, Kermit. Jedster, I want to go to the show. Uh-oh, someone's coming. My son is coming. Who's coming? Who is coming? Is that you, producer? Is that you, Carnegie? I think it's the producer. He went off to give his mother. I'm not going to say what he went off to do because this is personal business. I want to go to the show, but it'll be difficult. I'll see if I can make it. Yeah. Well, if any of you go to the show, okay, and let me see how many people are here. It says we have 34 people watching, but that number, who knows what that means? Who knows what that means? If you've been on the show, say I'm Jedster from the live stream. I'm half Welsh, says Vatanise. Is that you? Just say yes. Horrible. What a horrible. I'm half Welsh, I'm half Welsh, son of a bee. My mother's parents were travelers or gypsies. She didn't like people knowing. Yeah, I could believe that. Well, as a Jew, I used to not let people know because who wants the trouble? Who wants people to judge you? Some people judge you and some people don't. Then you got to look at them and say, are they judging me? Are they judging me? And maybe they've got a right to judge you. Maybe they don't have a right to judge you, but it gets a bit complicated. But I never said I was Italian or anything like that. And I always say, yeah, I told people what I was. And there's lots of people like that. Do we get our own VIP section? Yes, if you're only you, I'll put you in the VIP section. I don't know. I don't know how much tickets cost. But God bless Donald Trump. Maybe there'll be somebody from the media there, and I'll get the chance to speak, and I'll say how much I love Donald Trump. We need to do a whole show on the Welsh. Yes, well, because they're very interesting. They're very interesting. There's only 3 million of them, so that's like less than 5%. He's in the other room. I don't even know. Who is that? Hello? All right, never mind. We are VIPs, so we deserve that. Yes, you are VIPs. 34 people. Can you believe this? I'm just so pleased with people coming in. I am so pleased. I'm absolutely so pleased. Let's see if we've got everybody here. I don't think all the posts show up, Lorna. I'm on my phone and watching on telly. It's weird. I didn't put live chat up. I put the top chat. I didn't do it because of you. I think Streamlabs may have its own censoring, Lorna. We don't know that for a fact. I did not. It wasn't on live chat. I think that's what it is. So I don't know what it is. Maybe. Here it is. Once, Lorna, I gave a lovely Welshman a rogue nipple hair as he was leaving us to go home a few years ago. And the hair never grew back. A nipple hair. It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm not going to judge that anymore. Watched the concert there once at the Empire in South London. Is that possible? Or in Cardiff? Where did you watch that? Yeah, you look like a 1970s porn director. That's what I think you look like. That's what you look like. Who's looking for better things? I want to go to the show. Okay, there we go. Ex-Welsh leader Mark Drakeford, his son is a nun. Well, you know what? Could mean bad parenting, but may not be. So let's not, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want, it's bad enough for his son, Donna. So let's not bring in the dad. We could bring in the dad for the sins of the son. Okay, I'm half Welsh. Okay, we did that already. Our hero has arrived at the airport. Is he here? Which airport did he arrive at? What airport did he come into? I think he comes into up there in the Fens in Norfolk or wherever that is. I don't think all posts show up. So all posts are showing up now. I apologize to Lorna. This show's a duff show for her. Leanne says, if I get to the show, I need to be in bed, lie down in while I watch. Laugh out loud. Well, that's because you're on a high carb diet, Leanne, and you got to get off of the carbs. Everyone's got to get off the carbs because you need to be healthy to see me. Is that too much to ask? Please be healthy. Please be healthy. They should go back to where they came from and learn to speak ancient Britain, the Welsh. Yeah, well, I think that's what their language, ancient Britain. Or are they Celts and they come from like Spain originally? Don't they come around? They came around and up. Mark Tripford, swear words in Wales. Is that what it is? Breeze Norton, usually, yes. Okay. I didn't know it was called Breeze Norton, but that's, Ruben says, but that's where it is. Maybe Dickford's son wanted to be in the Labor cabinet. That's a good joke, Steve Cuff. That's a joke. It's not just an S-U-L-U-R. It's a good joke. Yeah. I mean, why was, what's his name, made the ambassador to Britain? Peter Mandelson. I'm not saying anything. I'm demonetized. If you come in late, you'll know that Lewis Schaffer has been basically demonetized from this platform for the things that I've said. So if you think I've said anything horrible, you got to go, say, hey, somebody else. How do you say it? I said breeze. Briz? Breeze. Briz? Briz? Joodles, is that how you say it? Have lived on cheese and jacket potatoes for the last couple of years. Am I carved out? Well, how much sugar is in cheese? And what is a jacket potato made out of? Joe, the answer is yes. Really bad for you. Thank you, Joodles. Ruben, very interesting. My granddad was born in a Navy gang. He worked hard and worked his way up and gained respect in having practical civil engineering skills. Well, God bless him. Prize. Kermit says prize, Breeze, prize, Steve Cuff agrees. Prize. Okay. So there you go. Potatoes are high carbs. They're delicious, but they're in the ground. We should never eat anything in the ground. We're not meant to eat anything ground. Mandelson's is the most Machiavellian charlatan of modern politics, says Ruben. I don't know if we don't have proof of that. I don't know if that's true. I had a bacon sausage with a plum tomatoes. So I'm trying. Yeah. Bacon sausage. Well, let me just, that sounds delicious. Onion sausages are my favorites, actually. But that's also high carb. Well, it's not high carbs, but it's got carbs in it. Thanks, Phil. Thought I'd talk about food for a change. Laugh out loud. F me. 2FF's sake. Can we try not to? Anyway, did you delete that then, Joodles? Because Joodles said it was Bry's. It was prize. Okay. We got 4 minutes left of the show, and we're going to end the show. Okay, so let's all say goodbye to everybody. Can we say goodbye to everybody? Can we do that? Can we all go in this last 4 minutes? Go and like the stream. Can we do that to make Lewis Schaffer happy? Is that too much to ask to make me happy? Can we do that? Can we do that? Okay. Can we also subscribe? That would make me really happy. That would make me so happy. Okay? Look what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go back up here. We've got the 30, at least 34 people watching, but it could be more. It could be more. It's enough people that we can have a good hangout. Okay. So, okay, so that's that. Let's go back here. Can we also go to PayPal or go to or Patreon? You can do Patreon. Here's Patreon. Okay, this is the Patreon, so you could fill that in. This means so much to me. Are you going to stay away for the football? Well, I'm going to stay away for an hour. Yeah, not an hour. It's going to take me an hour to get there, and the game's at 8. So I thought I'd leave 10 minutes early, and so this might be 15 minutes early. I need to get ready. I need to put my shoes on. I need to wash my face. So there we go. Mandelson, corrupt glove puppet of Tony Blair, apparently. But who was Tony Blair the glove puppet of? You know who? Let's just thank people. Darklands, thank you for joining us. All hail to Wales. We support Wales. Wales is on our team. Okay? Let's do that. Let's support Wales. Why should we let in? You know, Wales is fighting for their independence, and we're giving away the independence of Wales. They're fighting for their whole country back, and we're giving away all of England to, to people who hate us, who are different than English people. No, we want Wales to win. Donna Aylesbury, thank you very much. Joodles, you came late, but I'd love you anyway. Ruben, Leanne, Steve Cuff, Ruben, thank you, thank you, thank you. Daz, Alan Williams, another great show. Thank you, Kermit. I'm going to make sure I don't forget about Kermit because he was so helpful. If this sound has been good, we have Kermit to thank. And my son also has been very helpful to me, too. Let's see, Jedster is there. And maybe, so tomorrow, don't forget the thing tomorrow. Let me just see what this thing is. What was the thing called? Okay. Maybe he'll show up. Maybe Donald Trump will show up. I'll have to apologize because I said some really horrible things about the guy. Really bad things. So I'd say, I'm sorry. I think Streamless Labs may do its own censorship on me. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Do you agree with me, Kermit, that it's not all my fault? And actually, my son actually admitted it wasn't all my fault today. There's something not quite right. I don't think it's the computer. I got a good computer here. You're going to need more than an hour to make yourself respectable, Lewis. After all, you are in England, my dear boy. Yes, I am in England. I want to look respectable. And Crystal Palace supporters are good supporters. And let's all be good to each other if we go to the football match, because this is our turn. Okay, Maltese Phil speaking some language to Lorna. Let's go back up to the top here to say goodbye to everybody. Darklands again. Trini, let's thank Trini. She made the show. Did she not make the show? Thank you, Trini. She made the show. Maybe Daz. Forgot about Daz. Leanne. Brilliant, beautiful Leanne. One of our youngest members. Brilliant, beautiful Leanne. Brilliant, beautiful Leanne. I think that's pretty much everybody. Have I forgotten to mention anybody's name? If I forgot to mention your name, write it below, and I will write it down. Donna, of course, with the great St. George's flag, the great English flag. Phil has the crown for today's show. Up there is in yellow is Lewis Schaffer, and it says I'll be at the White Eagle Club tomorrow, 211 Balham High Road. So you'll come down to see me. Come down. I think you won the Trini round. Uh, I don't think she is as hostile as she came in to be. There you go, Maltese Phil. I really appreciate that. That is so unbelievable. Thank you, Maltese Phil. That is really, really great. That is really good. I want to thank you again. I mean, and then when I come down to Malta or Doncaster, I'll buy you a drink on it and be honored to. Oh, I forgot. I think I mentioned Joe. Which Joanne? That's you. Aren't you, Joanne? Steve Cuff, that's good. So Patreon is great. It's really great. It's really great. I mean, there's nothing really. I'm going to have to put interesting stuff on it. But, maybe not. Maybe not. This is a lot. I'm going to get more active into Discord, even though I don't think that they're politically correct organization. Okay? I'm going to have to. Okay, that's our show. I'm going to hang up. Everybody write one last thing. Make sure you like this. I don't know how many people have liked this thing. We have only 25 people liking it. Okay. Pint of Sisk. Yeah, and 30 straws. Okay, I'll buy you all a drink when you come over. Tris 2000, on my way to Selhurst Park. Yeah, it's my friend Tristan. I'll see you in under an hour. I'll be there. I'm hanging up right now, and I'm heading for the door. You caught me in the act. Don't be too late. Tristan's always a little bit late. Everybody give Tristan a round of applause for being a great guy. He's been such a good friend of mine. Through thickness, there were some bad times we spent together, did we not? And I'd go to the matches he invited me to if I could, and I loved it. And I told you got to get rid of the carbs. Basically, that's what you got to do. Warmellian, a bit late, but thank you. Thank you for coming in. Bye, Darkland. See you tomorrow, 5 o'clock. See you tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Okay, I'm signing out. I'm ending the stream.